Hello, my friends. This is Natasha, founder of On Purpose Projects, bringing you another tip about how to create a high performance business website. This is something that I run a tech team, and so we do almost exclusively web development work, which means we get brought in when something breaks or something's not going right or their developer isn't doing a great job, and we're kind of like a relief. We kind of do that pickup kind of work where we sort of get brought in, when something's not working properly. And because of that, we deal with nitty gritty, grungy website problems all day, all day. Like we very rarely do a clean build from scratch. Everything we do is we're coming into an existing setup. And that can be very problematic and very stressful for a web team because there's so much that's going wrong. And when you're walking in, the client, you as the client, you don't know what is us, what is old, where these problems are coming from, and it just feels like you're just pulling good money after bad. And it's very easy to point the finger when something breaks and saying, you did it wrong, you broke it, blaming, blaming, blaming. That's very, very common. And in the work that my team and I specifically do, we probably see that more than most because, like I said, everything we're doing is coming into a mess already. So it's 100% guaranteed that something's going to go wrong and something's going to break because we're walking into a setup we didn't build with a site that's already broken. So I want to kind of teach you about all the variables that can affect whether a website breaks, can affect whether something's working. So you can just sort of have a more educated view of how this works before you go to blame somebody for something. Okay, and this applies whether you're bringing in a web developer to work on your existing site or whether you're starting from scratch. Okay, so these rules completely apply. So number one, I've just made notes, browser issues. So for example, all web browsers do not display the website the same. Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Edge. For whatever reason, in the universe's infinite wisdom, they do not all work the same. So something might work fantastic in Chrome, but not work in Firefox. It might work fine in Safari, but not work at all in Edge. And it's super aggravating for a web team, but when you're finding a problem, keeping in mind, it may be a weirdness with the browser, the caching of the browser. The browser may be showing an outdated version of the website because of the caching setup of that particular browser. So you might see it on your end, it's not working, and on my computer, it's completely working. We're working with different browsers. So keeping that in mind, number one, it might not be broken. There might be something up and weird going on with the browser. This is ridiculous, I know, but this is part of the thing. Computer issues. Your computer, there may be something wrong. We had this issue one time with a client and he couldn't get it to work. And there was something wrong with the formatting of his monitor. He said, it kept cutting off on the sides. It's cutting off. I can't see the whole website. He had his monitor configured to only show a specific size. And so for whatever reason, it wasn't showing him the whole website and it was cropping it weird and it was forming it weird and it was like auto rotating it. And so there was an actual problem with the device. So you might be looking at something maybe on your tablet, maybe on your phone, maybe on the computer, and there's actually something wrong with the hardware. So it's another factor. So before you assume, okay, my web developer doesn't know what he's doing, it's broken. Okay, let's check, is there something wrong with the computer? The network, another one. So we had another client as well, and he's like, we had delivered the website, and he's like, I can't get it to work. It's not coming, and you did it wrong. And he was getting really upset and really frustrated. And it turned out his office's network, they had like a firewall that wouldn't allow them to see certain websites. And for some reason, his own business's website was like on this blacklist. And so his network would not allow him to see his own website. Everyone else could see it. We could see it. Other people from the world could see it. His clients could see it. He personally couldn't see it. So again, he was getting really upset thinking we didn't know what we were doing. However, it was his office's network that was the issue. Server issues. This one is a big one. Your website is hosted somewhere. Bluehost, GoDaddy, WP Engine. Sometimes things on the website break that have nothing to do with the website. It's a server issue. It could be something wrong with the hosting, something wrong with the domain, something wrong with the SSL certificate, something wrong on that server end. So before you start pointing fingers at your web team that they've done something to break the website, it could be a server issue. SiteGround, WP Engine, Bluehost, GoDaddy, there could be something wrong on their end. They changed something that broke something. So again, keeping in mind, it could be a server issue, we got to rule that out. It could be a domain issue. Something's wrong with the domain itself. Something wrong with the SSL certificate that's creating a block or creating breaks or creating so there's so many things on that end that could also be causing problems. Plugin issues, everybody's favorite. Oh my goodness, if you have a WordPress website, you have plugins installed. Plugins are like little tools, little things that you add that do a specific thing. So they're just like, if to add and enhance the functionality of your website, you can add what they call plugins. And plugins are not necessarily built by WordPress. They're built to be compatible with WordPress. But what happens a lot of the time is someone will build a plugin, they'll sell it, we'll buy it, and then the plugin developer just abandons it. And they don't support it, they don't do updates, they don't fix bugs. And so the plugin starts causing problems in your website, or it causes compatibility issues, or they issue an update that's totally uncompatible with something else, and it just takes the whole thing down. And it's so aggravating because a plugin, again, has nothing to do with the web developer, unless the web developer built the plugin, right? But the plugin is like a third-party entity, separate. It's a tool that we're using, and we probably bought it because it had excellent reviews. We wouldn't have bought something that was proven to be, fallible. However, plugins cause nightmares with WordPress website. It almost makes me not want to do WordPress websites because they're so problematic. There was this hugely popular plugin. We used it. They ran an update. The plugin developer, they sent an updated version of the plugin. We used it. We updated it. Websites across our portfolio crashed. And again, it had nothing to do with us. The plugin broke the website. So keeping that in mind as well, it's like these little things. And in that case, we can talk to the plugin developer and what the hell, how do we fix this? But the web team is not, we can't know what every single website's going to do. So that's why you have hosting, and that's why you have a backup. So plugin updates are done in a backup environment, like in a safe environment, so it's not going to affect your live site. That's another one. And then you have your developer issues. And then after all of those things have been ruled out and something's still broken, it could be that your web developer is not that good. It could be that his code is not good, or that his approach isn't good, his logic is not good, he's not that skilled. It could be. And that's a possibility, but there is also all these other possibilities. Let's go through again: browser issues, computer issues, network issues, server issues, plugin issues, developer issues. I want to add at the end communication issues. If there's a problem and the developer and something's not working properly or something's not going right, is the problem being explained properly? Do they understand exactly what needs to be done, what needs to be fixed? So before finger pointing begins, before yelling at a web developer begins, keep all these factors in mind. And if your web developer is skilled, he or she should know to go through all these different items, rule them all out to get to the bottom of it. So I hope that helps. Web development is incredibly difficult. It requires an incredible level of patience and graciousness and compassion on both ends. We know you're frustrated and we're doing our best to fix it. And also you can see when there's technical problems, you can guarantee we're going to be frustrated as well, trying to get it fixed for you as soon as possible. So anyway, I hope that helps, and I will talk to you tomorrow.